Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only.
Let's see the next one, which is Bandit 1. So this is what they have given. The password for the next level is stored in a file called dash, which is located in home directory. So let's go back to our notes and let's create a new one. Let's paste this and let's also do this. And change it to 1. Now we have SSH, and this is the password. Let's log in. And this is the password. All right, we're in. So they said there's a file called dash located in the home directory. Let's see. ls to list the files, and we have something here, dash, right? So this is the file name which they were telling about. So here they have given some clues like ls, cd, cat, all these you can use tools you can use, and they have given some Google search. So this is not necessary, you can actually go to this and find the answer, but the dash is also known as a hyphen. So if you don't know where it is, so hyphen in keyboard. So this is where it is. So this symbol here, right? So there is a file with that name. Okay, so let's see. So initially when we see a file, we try to use cat command, right? So cat and then file, something like this. But if you hit enter, it doesn't work. So it just keeps on waiting here. So it's not working. What's happening here? So each command will have something called an option. So all these are options. Okay, so option will tell a command to work in certain way. So this is the command and these are the options. So this is the file that we are inputting, and they have given dot dot dot. So it means that we can input multiple files in it. So that's what it means. So the main thing we need to consider is an option. So when we are trying to do something, like if we are typing cat and then dash, it is waiting for an option to be filled here. It doesn't work. So what should be done here? So in this way, the purpose of this particular CTF is to understand between relative paths and absolute paths. So relative paths and absolute path. So what is relative path and what is absolute path? So relative path is, so when we are saying if the file is still here, so we will say something like readme, like in the previous. So this is relative. Relative to what? Relative to current directory. And there is also something called a home directory. This tilde mark is there, right? So this is called tilde, which represent home directory. And if you want to say that this is in the home directory, you would obviously say that this is in the home directory, and inside this some readme file, something like that we would add. And this is we can consider this as relative to the home directory. And there is also something called absolute path. So when we want absolute path, we use PWD, which stands for present working directory. When we hit that, we will get this. So this is the full path of current directory. So when we want to use cat command, we use a full path, and in this directory there is a file called dash. Okay, so this is what we are representing with the full directory. Now it should work. Okay, now it is working. And when we want to use a relative directory, there are two ways to do it. One is this cat with the tilde mark, as we said before, and then dash. We are saying in the home directory there is a file called dash. Okay, so this should work. And one more type we can do. The dot represents current directory. So we are also saying that in this current directory there is a file called dash. So this should also work, right? So how can we say that a dot is a current directory? So if we use ls command with a, it should print out all the files and folders. So this dot actually represent the current directory, and these two dots actually represent previous directory. So we are saying here in this current directory there is a file called dash, which is here. Okay, and let's also try to list in this format. So -l stands for long listing. So when we try to list in this way, it will show in this format. Okay, here there are 10 places to fill, and some are shown some letter and some are empty, right? At present we don't want to know about all these things, so only thing you need to consider is this one, the first one. So the first one actually represents the type of file. So when there is nothing, I mean a dash is there, it represents a normal file. So it is just a normal file. And if there is some D or something like that, it represents a directory. If you try to list out everything like AL, something like this, so it should print out all this dot and double dot also. So as I said, this represent current directory. It should be a directory, right? So it should give something like D in the starting. And these are normal files. And this is the file that we are interested in, and we got the flag using that. So now we understood how the relative paths and absolute paths work. So let's move to the next one. See ya.